I'm joined now live by Sydney Baxter with Paws with a Cause and Chewy, who is here. Chewy is an ambassador dog. Sydney, thank you so much for joining us for this first dog on Evening Plus, and he's a very special boy. For people who aren't familiar with Paws with a Cause, what are you guys all about?
Yeah, so we custom train assistance dogs for people with disabilities. We have a couple different categories that we train. So we do hearing dogs for people who are deaf or hard of hearing, service dogs for mobility, seizure response dogs, and then service dogs for children with autism.
Yeah, so really a wide range of different ways. And I know that Chewy, we're going to talk about him in a moment, and he's going to show off some stuff, so we will get to him, don't worry. But this training, you know, obviously it depends on what the need is for someone, but this training must be pretty extensive for these animals.
It is. It's about 2 to 2.5 years total of training. So for the first year of their life, they go and live with a volunteer foster puppy raiser, and that's just because they have puppy brain, and they're not quite ready to be an assistance dog yet. And so our volunteers will just do basic obedience training with them, the sit, stay, come, all those classic things. And then public access is another thing that our volunteers help with. Taking puppies out to a restaurant with you on the weekend when you're with your family. And so that gets them used to being able to go anywhere with their client.
Sure, absolutely. And as far as you know, just all of these different abilities that I think Chewy's fallen asleep there for a second. Don't worry, Chewy, we're going to get to you, I promise. You guys train the dogs here in Michigan, but these are going all over the country to people in need.
Yes, they are. So we receive thousands of applications every year, and we place assistance dogs in 20 different states. So yeah, but all the training happens right here in Wayland, Michigan. So we're just a few miles south of Grand Rapids, and it's pretty cool. That's where our national headquarters is.
And you guys are in some need yourself right now as far as volunteers. Talk to me a little bit about what you guys are looking for and how, you know, folks at home could assist if they're interested.
Yeah, so our biggest need right now is definitely those volunteer foster puppy raisers. So currently we can't meet the need for all of those applications that are coming in. So one of the things that we have to do is expand our facilities, which we've already done, currently in the middle of a $10 million capital campaign. But the second step to that is now getting more volunteers.
More volunteers.
So we need people to foster puppies like Chewy. He's a little older now. He's aged out of that program.
Not an insult, Chewy. You're more mature.
Exactly. But yeah, and we do have flexible raising options for people. So if you can only commit to 6 months with a puppy and maybe 6 months of the year you're down in Florida, that's okay.
Gotcha. So, yeah, really cool. And any situations that might not be right for that volunteer opportunity, or, you know, people who would be best, you know, are you looking for homes with no children, with children, any sort of specifications there?
Really, it's pretty flexible. You can have kids in the home, and you can even have other pets in the home. So it's pretty flexible.
Yeah, because ultimately that goal is really a lot of exposure to lots of different things. So yeah, very cool. And you guys put out these testimony videos of families who have received dogs, and we got a little clip of that I want to play here. This is a dog named Treasure who helped a little boy with autism who is down in Florida. Guys, if we can play that clip there of how this dog was able to help.
Treasure helps Nolan in his daily life by
being my snuggle buddy at bedtime, my brushing buddy when Treasure gets her teeth brushed, and my safety buddy in case I try and wander off.
She also provides something that is called tethering, and that allows for Nolan to stay with us when we're walking, when we're out and about shopping. It makes it so that way I have the capability of being able to look at the item that I'm selecting from the shelf, knowing full well that in that duration Nolan is not off running. So Treasure really helps in regards to difficult moments and transitions by providing a technique called squish, which allows her to do kind of a deep pressure therapy over his body, and that in turn helps with regulation. So that offsets anything from escalating further and then gives him kind of essentially a reset.
Really interesting there, and I feel like most people are very familiar with, you know, a seeing eye dog, but the fact that animals can be trained to do so many different things, you know, provide that regulation for someone who's overstimulated and has autism. Can you talk any more just about, you know, besides the, you know, seeing eye help, how some of these other, you know, animals are able to help with these other disabilities that someone may have?
Yeah, I think you know, the common misconception with service dogs is that it's just helping them mitigate their disability. And oftentimes it's a life-saving service for these people. We had a woman recently tell us a story about her hearing dog stopping her from going through a busy intersection and getting hit by a fire truck.
Oh my
and
gosh.
so you hear these stories and you realize truly how impactful these dogs are on someone's life.
There's just so many abilities that I've even heard of some dogs that can help detect sugar levels in people who have diabetes. I mean, it's just incredible that they can do that, you know, and we can't even do that.
Yeah.
Okay, and now I mean, Chewy might be taking a nap here, but he's got some tricks to show us. So Chewy, it's your time to shine now, big guy.
Are we ready to work? So Chewy here was a fully trained service dog. Unfortunately, Chewy here has a thyroid issue and a little bit of an allergy issue as well. So he takes the daily medication for those things, and we don't want to give our clients something to manage on top of their disability. So unfortunately, he could not be placed as an assistance dog, but he became an ambassador dog for us.
Yes, and that's why he's here.
Yay, Chewy.
He found his new purpose.
So I'll show you a couple things. He was originally trained for a man who was quadriplegic. So a couple things he can do is light switches and push plates. So we'll see if he taps this one. Chewy, touch it. Touch it. Touch it. You can do it. Oh, he'll take it first. So he can also retrieve items for me. So give. Thank you, buddy.
Cool.
All right, take it. Take it. Thank you. And our dogs can actually pick things up as small as a dime.
Wow.
So yeah, mail, keys, all those types of things that would drop. Chewy could pick that up for me. Do we want to try this one again? All right, touch it. A little harder. Touch it. There you go.
There we go.
Good
Chewy,
job,
that
buddy.
was so great.
Yeah. Can you do high 10? Thank you, bud. Thank you.
Oh my goodness, he is
Yeah.
so awesome. And I wanted to point out one thing we were talking about too, Chewy. That was so good. And Chewy is able to be pet, which is why I've been able to pet him. But he has this patch on him. Please don't pet me, because that is the typical rule for service dogs, and a common misconception or frustration for someone who has a service dog. Can you talk about that a little bit as well?
Yeah, so generally you should not pet a service dog because that can distract them from the work that they're doing. They could miss a cue from their person that they're trying to protect. And so that's generally the rule of thumb. You can always ask a person that has a service dog if you can pet their dog, but if they say no,
Really important to respect
respect
that, because they're working. You know, you wouldn't want someone coming up and bothering you when you're working. So it's the same thing. Chewy's taking a tour of the studio.
Chewy.
He loves it here at 13 on Your Side. And again, we're able to pet him because he is that ambassador dog. I asked you that when you got here. Just a refresh on that volunteer opportunity. If someone does want to volunteer and foster those puppies, what should they do next if they are interested?
Yeah, visit our website, definitely. We have an interest form that you can fill out on our website, so you get a chance to ask your questions before you commit to it if you would like. And then check out our other events while you're there. We have some fun stuff coming up in May, including Hats and Hounds on May 22nd. So you can come see Chewy in person.
Yes, so cool. And Chewy, I've got a thyroid problem too, so we're twins. It's all okay. Sydney, thank you so much for coming in and bringing Chewy. Thank you so much for coming in. He is such a happy boy. Again, those opportunities open for folks if they'd like to volunteer and help, but you guys do such incredible work. So thanks for explaining that and shining a light on what is possible through these incredible animals. I really appreciate it. We are going to take just a quick break.